everyone, it's Diabetic Danica, and let's be real, low blood sugars can be kind of scary. Low blood sugars are a fairly normal part of a diabetic's life. Honestly, if you're a type 1 diabetic, you're gonna have highs and you're gonna have lows. But sometimes, for some reason, certain low blood sugars can just really get at you and make you anxious and afraid, and I'm gonna talk about those today. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I got a question from username Young Minister, and he asked, can you make a video how to overcome fears of having low blood sugars or how to prepare for them when going out to play with your friends or travel with family, etc. So I think the tricky thing with being scared of lows is that while you're low, it's hard to think straight sometimes. So I find that the fear that I have around lows is usually, I think, pretty much only when I'm actually low. Ampers, come here. Ambers is the loudest dog during these videos every time. She's like, what? I'm just playing. I'm gonna get her a quiet snack. Hoof filled with peanut butter, perfect quiet snack. I usually don't get too scared of lows before they happen because that's more of just like, oh, maybe I'll go low during this, I should bring snacks type of thing. Whereas when I'm actually low, that's when I would actually have more anxiety about it, if I do have any. And as I think back on it, I think the only main fear I have around lows is that I'm not going to come back up from the low. Which has obviously never happened, but that's the big fear, right? So the only time I'm ever really scared when I'm low is if I am either really, really low, like when I was 26 a couple of times, or if I'm not like that low, but I'm low, like I'm like 50 or 40, like that's pretty low, and I'm not coming up as quickly as I would expect or that I would want to. And the third scenario that makes me kind of scared is when I am really low and I just feel it. For some reason, just feeling really low makes it seem a million times worse. Like I could be 50 and not feel it, and I might be kind of scared because I'm like, well, that's pretty low. But I wouldn't be as scared as if I was feeling it, like feeling shaky, weak, sweaty, hungry, tired, confused, stuff like that. Like if I wasn't feeling any of that, I felt normal, I'd be less scared. Which doesn't make any sense, but you know, that's how it goes. And the problem with this is that third scenario, when I'm feeling the most low, that's when my thoughts are the most cloudy, and so it's hard to overcome that low hump and rationalize with yourself when your brain's having some trouble and not having enough sugar. And I think in some ways this fear is rational, like it makes sense. Like you're not supposed to be that low. It is important that you go up, and if you don't take care of it right away, there is the potential that something bad could happen. And so in a way, it's a good motivator to get you to check your blood sugar right away, eat a snack right away, have something fast carb right away, not like a chocolate cake, but orange juice instead, you know? So I think in that way it's a good motivator, but it's also not very fun when you're in the moment. So what do I try to do? What do I do when I'm either super low, not coming up very quickly, or really, really feeling the low? I try to rationalize with myself even though I'm low. I try to tell myself, Danica, you have always come up from lows before. You had this amount of carbs. That has always been sufficient. You're gonna check in like 10 minutes and you're gonna be fine. Like I try to tell myself everything's gonna be okay. And if that doesn't work, you can always tell somebody else. So a couple times when I was growing up, I would actually go in and I would wake up, more than a couple times, I would go and wake up my mom if it was the middle of the night, and I would say, Mom, I'm pretty low. I'm 45 and I am feeling really low and I just wanna wake you up just in case. So that way you just have a safety net. Like you just have somebody that you know that if something were to go wrong, say you passed out or you just didn't feel, I don't know, strong enough to get more juice, like somebody would be there for you to help you, call 911, give you a glucagon shot, anything. So that always helps to have a person, a contact person that's checking in on you, making sure you're okay. And of course you would always get up with me and stay with me until my blood sugar was good. And not only is that just safer, it also is just a good anxiety reliever. Another way that I cope with the fears of lows is being super prepared. So part of the question was, how do you prepare for going out to play with friends or go on trips or whatever? I just bring a lot of snacks. I find that that also relieves my anxiety. If I'm out and about, like say I'm on a hike and I only have one snack and I eat it, I immediately get that anxiety fear going on because I'm like, what if I keep going low? What if I don't have any snacks? What if even though I turn my pump off of insulin, like I'm still going low? What would I do? That is how my brain would go. And so I always make sure I have way more than just one snack. I would never just carry one snack. Usually I have at least 3 just because that gives me enough time where I'm working on my blood sugar and I could turn off my insulin, and then like that's usually always worked for me, but the more the better. Like I usually have fruit snacks. If I'm going on a hike, I might bring like a juice or something. Especially a hike, I'd bring even more snacks just for, in general, like energy reasons, like sandwiches and stuff. But as far as lows go, I always have way more than 1 snack so that I know that I have a buffer. Like I can go low a couple times even and I'll still be okay. So I think being prepared can definitely relieve a lot of anxiety around lows. Snacks, snacks, snacks. Another way that I relieve anxiety about lows is not the best way. It's not recommended, honestly, but sometimes I will let myself indulge. This is where the rebounds occur. After you go low, you go super high because you ate way too much. You raid the kitchen. There's always those diabetes jokes about, I went low and now I'm out of food. My kitchen's empty. So whoops, looks like I was robbed last night by me. There's always that scenario. And honestly, sometimes I let myself do that just because it makes you feel better. Like when you're super low and you're feeling horrible and you eat 1 snack, you do not feel better right away, or even for a while sometimes, even if it's enough to bring your blood sugar up. So sometimes I will just let myself be like, you know what, Danica, yeah, you're freaking starving and you feel awful. Eat everything you feel like eating. Those Oreos, grab them. Nutella, grab them. You want a sandwich now just because you're hungry? Grab it. Like everything, I just go for it. Especially if I'm by myself and I just like want to make sure I'm going to be okay. I go crazy once I'm full. Then I monitor my blood sugar very closely, and once I'm back up, I feel like I'm good and I feel safe doing so. I will give some insulin for the extra carbs that I had that I didn't really need. So I do that. It's not recommended because that does cause after low spikes, rebounds, but sometimes that's what you have to do to have peace of mind, at least for me. So I will do that occasionally and bolus for extra carbs along the way, monitoring my blood sugar very closely. So those would be the main things I do if I'm anxious about lows. So what do you do when you're feeling scared about a low, either in a low or before a low? Leave your tips in the comments down below. I would love to read them, and I'm sure everybody else would love to read your tips too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you really did like it, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time for an all new video. Also, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. My name is DMarieIsMe on there. I haven't plugged that in a while. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you, young minister, for your question. Bye. You want to come up here? So right as the video was ending, she finished all the peanut butter. Do you see it on her little beard area right there? She loved it. She came up to me and she was like, I think she liked it. Win-win. She was quiet and she got peanut butter. Woo! Say bye, Empress. Subscribe, she says. Oh, also, I forgot to say, very soon I'm going to be making a video about my worst low blood sugar ever. And not necessarily my lowest, not my lowest, but just the scariest and the worst. So keep an eye out for that, and if it's already uploaded, I'll have it linked down below and on the screen. Bye, guys.